It's a Friday night in Indianapolis, and Gainbridge Fieldhouse is packed to the rafters. The energy inside is electric, the kind of buzz that only happens when two of the biggest names in basketball are about to share the same floor. Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, the two most talked-about point guards in the sport, standing across from each other, ready to go to war. But nobody in that building, not the fans, not the coaches, not even Clark herself, knows that within the next 30 minutes, this game is about to turn into something no one saw coming. The Indiana Fever are hosting the Dallas Wings, and the stakes are massive. A win tonight doesn't just mean bragging rights. It means first place in the Eastern Conference. It means Indiana finally climbing to the top of a crowded, chaotic season. Everything the Fever have built toward comes down to this single night, this single game, against a Dallas team that walked in shorthand, missing key firepower, but still dangerous enough to ruin everything. And for a while, it looks like they might do exactly that. The first quarter is a grind. Neither team can find a rhythm. The ball clangs off the rim more than it goes through the net, and both benches shift uneasily, waiting for someone, anyone, to take control. 20 points combined isn't what anyone paid to see, but underneath the sluggish start, there's tension building. Real tension. The kind that comes right before something breaks loose. By the second quarter, the game finally wakes up. Buckets start falling. Dallas finds their footing, and by the time the horn sounds for halftime, the Wings are ahead 37-35. Not a blowout. Not even close. Just enough of a lead to make Fever fans nervous, to make them lean forward in their seats and wonder if tonight is going to be one of those nights. But none of that matters. None of it. Because right before the half ends, everything changes in an instant. Caitlin Clark is on defense, tracking a play, moving the way she always moves, sharp, controlled, dangerous. And then her ankle rolls. Just like that. One wrong step, one bad landing, and suddenly the most electrifying player in the league is grabbing at her leg, wincing, limping. The building goes quiet. 19,000 people hold their breath at once. Clark doesn't just sit down on the bench. She doesn't just get checked out courtside. She's helped off the floor completely, disappearing down the tunnel toward the locker room, and with her goes every hope Indiana had of controlling this game. For a franchise chasing first place, for a fan base that has already watched this same nightmare play out earlier in the season, this is the worst possible moment. Because everyone remembers. Everyone remembers what happens to the Fever when Clark isn't on the floor. The energy drains. The offense stalls. Games that should be manageable turn into desperate scrambles. And now, with a tight three-point game and a signature road win on the line, Indiana is staring down that exact scenario all over again. The locker room clock starts ticking. 15 minutes until the second half. 15 minutes to find out whether their franchise player is walking back out, or whether tonight just became a fight for survival without her. And then, she appears. Caitlin Clark walks out for the second half. No wheelchair, no crutches, no hesitation in her stride. The crowd erupts before a single possession is even played, a wave of relief crashing through the arena. But walking out is one thing. Playing like nothing happened is another. Nobody has to wonder for long. The moment the third quarter begins, Clark doesn't ease back in. She doesn't test the ankle cautiously or settle for safe, easy looks. She explodes. Shot after shot falls. Step-back threes from 30 feet that shouldn't even be considered good looks, and yet they are rattling home one after another. She scores 17 points in the third quarter alone. 17. In a single quarter. The kind of stretch that doesn't just shift momentum, it obliterates it. But this isn't a one-woman show, and the story doesn't end with Clark. Because on the other side of the floor, Paige Bueckers refuses to fold. She matches fire with fire, attacking, scoring, keeping Dallas within striking distance possession after possession. By the final buzzer, Bueckers finishes with 29 points of her own, adding 6 rebounds and 6 assists, a performance worthy of every ounce of hype that follows her. This isn't a case of one superstar dominating a lesser opponent. This is two of the best guards in the world, going shot for shot, refusing to blink. And Clark answers. Every time. She finishes the night with 29 points and 10 assists, completing a double-double that, under the circumstances, feels almost impossible. An ankle injury that looked like it might end her night instead becomes the spark that ignites one of her most dominant stretches of the season. But Indiana doesn't win this game on Clark's brilliance alone. Because right when Dallas starts searching for answers, someone else steps up. Kelsey Mitchell has been quietly building one of the most remarkable streaks in franchise history all season long, and tonight, she adds to it. 23 points. Her 18th straight game scoring 20 or more, a franchise record that keeps growing with every outing. And then there's Tyasha Harris, who catches fire from beyond the arc, connecting on all 4 of her three-point attempts, dagger after dagger, each one pushing Dallas further and further behind. By the time the final horn sounds, the Fever have pulled away, closing out a 98-87 victory that, just one half earlier, felt like it might slip through their fingers entirely. Think about the swing here. Down at halftime, their franchise player limping to the locker room with an apparent injury. Every reason in the world to fear the worst. And instead, Indiana walks away with a signature win, powered by a superstar who refused to let one scary moment define her night. This win means everything for Indiana's position in the standings. With the victory, the Fever officially move into first place in the Eastern Conference, leapfrogging the Atlanta Dream in a race that's been tight all season long. But there's no time to celebrate for long, because fate has already written the next chapter. In just 2 days, on Sunday, the Fever and the Dream will meet again, this time with the conference's top spot hanging directly in the balance. Caitlin Clark walked into a scary moment tonight and walked out with a signature performance. But the story isn't over. It's just getting started. Sunday is coming fast, and everything Indiana fought for tonight will be tested all over again.